Welcome back to another episode of Careful Boys. Today we have this Kamaka Dias. Okay, so we have a very unique situation here, and I think this is the best time to talk about this. We have a native, born and raised in Hawaii, Kamaka, and we have an intruder, Joe Jitsukawa. Invader, yeah.
Came on the plane.
People hate me.
So, like, what's the compromise where, like, you hear all the time about Hawaiians, like, hating tourists. Like, they just hate them. And they hate tourism. And there was, like, almost like a very clear initiative, like, during COVID era and different times where they were like, stop coming to Hawaii. But at the same time, the economy sort of depends on it.
It's the number one.
So what's the happy medium that, like, what do you think a local person would want in order to, like, kind of be in the middle somehow? Because you can't just go 100% no tourists all of a sudden, right? That would crash the whole economy, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think tourism is bad. I think if you just do it right, it's okay, and you have certain rules and regulations to kind of make it benefit the locals instead of the tourists, because a lot of things are benefiting the tourists, not the locals or the transplants, because like it's hard to live in Hawaii. It's expensive, and the jobs don't match the the cost of living. The income doesn't match the cost of living. So when you have somebody who comes here, they're retired, they're buying homes, they're paying like $200,000 over market value, and then they can just take that from the family, and then all the other houses go up, and then like, what, this guy is doing valet in Waikiki at the hotels, like, how is he gonna afford to do that? So I think it's mainly the people that go there and they don't respect the culture, and they try to make their, like, where they're from, instead of just like doing what as the locals do, respecting us, they're trying to make their place like where they came from. And that's the biggest issue, because you have people who aren't Hawaiian or who moved there that they're doing a lot for the community. Like, we just had the recent floods.
Yeah.
Another month. And you see a lot of people, transplants, trying to help out and give back. And then there's a good section of people who use Hawaii, for their work, or if they're on Instagram, they're benefiting from, the views and their content, but, they're not giving back. So I think it's the people that aren't giving back and doing something to contribute to the community and just taking. That's what we don't like.
Okay. And then how do you think things could change to benefit you?
Well, so, Joe's one of the good ones. But also, if you're Asian, like, you blend in better.
Yeah,
like, you just,
I get lucky because they don't think I'm not from there.
Yeah, because the minority is the majority. Yeah. So you're just one of us.
I think Japanese is actually the biggest group in Hawaii.
Yeah, Japanese love Hawaii.
I usually go there in my Colts jersey and I start taking pictures of everybody. Just go around to everybody.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, when you guys say, like, you don't like the tourists, I'm like, is it probably mainly the tourists from the mainland, not so much the ones from Japan, right? Because I feel like they get there and then...
Oh, yeah.
I feel like...
There's a lot of Japanese tourists.
Yeah, because I feel like Japanese tourists seem like they're like the model citizen for tourism in every country you go.
The least problematic?
Like, everyone should just follow what they do.
I mean, they're really respectful. They bow like 10 million times.
Invisible. Wherever they go, they're just invisible. They blend in. They do what they're supposed to do, and they get out.
Yeah. But
so who's the worst tourist?
And Chinese people are taking pictures with dolphins?
Well, it's those ones actually that like go and they're trying to touch the turtles or the monk seals, like the Karens that you see. Like, those people are the worst. Yes. Yeah. But I mean, you got like us locals, we're not, perfect too. There's locals that act up. That
I feel like this topic, you have so many different guests with hard points of views that it's almost like now at this point, there's like too many different opinions of like what do they represent? Because you have one guy that's like, hella for tourism and wants people to come and whatever, and you have one that's like, no, we're gonna isolate, fuck everybody. Yeah. So it's like, I don't really know what the Hawaii consensus is.
Yeah,
because I thought so too. Like, when you see these like TikToks or whatever, and people are like, don't come to Hawaii and all that, and then it's just teenagers that are just probably saying some shit, right?
Just because it's like it's a bunch of teens that don't own businesses that are...
Yeah, and then the adults that work at the results are like, what the fuck are you saying, kid? Yeah. Like, I need my job. Like,
well, so there's this small community, very vocal, very loud, of like the sovereignty movement, because in 1893 we were overthrown. So there's a lot of trauma from that. And that's why they're like, oh, the white men came and overthrew us. They banned the Hawaiian language, they banned the hula, like all the cultural practices. So there's a missing generation of like people that don't speak Hawaiian that never got a chance to practice their culture. So everybody's still feeling that. So I think when people come in and it feels like you're trying to do that, people get triggered, and then that sovereignty side, they're just like, we are not America, we are Hawaiian, like we're not part of the U.S. And honestly, like our culture, Hawaii is so different than the U.S. Some people don't even think we're part of America, just
true.
because we have our own culture.
Yeah.
You know what I say to that? I'll have another margarita, thank you.
So stupid.
I won't collaborate on these posts, sir. I want to keep you safe.
What about, okay, let's say that you're like a politician and you're trying to implement some of these policies that you said would be more beneficial to the locals. What are some things you would change about how tourism works in order to make it so that the people living there are actually not being hurt by it as hard?
Yeah, I mean, people don't like politics either because, it seems like all these things that are brought up to like, oh, only locals can buy land, like it never passes, I don't know why. I don't know what like the deeper layers are, but
Well, it's money.
yeah, that's and it's corruption and stuff, but I mean, I would do anything that benefits locals.
So that's a real thing that doesn't get passed.
Yeah, like
and actual what is it, like actual representatives that are local to Hawaii vote against it.
some, yeah, and then a lot.
Some of that corruption out there too.
Well, what's their reason for like when they talk about it? What's their logic of like why they voted against it? Do they ever say?
They don't say it. We don't know. That's why there's just one politician, Brenton Awa. He's like for the people. He's a Republican, and just because he's red and our state is so blue, like they don't listen to anything.
So even if he has things that benefit,
It's like all his stuff is like for the people, like planting trees on the side of the road so we have more fruits. Like they tried to stop that, so he just went and did it on.
they just don't want him to win. Because
Yeah. No,
He
it's
planted
crazy.
like hella
100.
food, like
Yeah.
fruit trees to make it more self-sustainable. So if there's a disaster,
Yeah,
like a food
because we
shortage,
saw it with COVID, right? Like,
Yeah.
if the ships stop coming, 90% of our food supply is gone.
and they just harvested their first crop. I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah, I
That's
saw that, yeah.
crazy.
The Democrats who cut all the trees down.
Yeah, something like that.
No,
But
you know
it's
what's
so
weird?
blue.
I thought
Hawaii
it-
is so blue.
I thought it was so weird because, like, okay, the history of it is like when Tulsi was on, she was telling us about the whole how the Republican and Democrat stuff started. Where like the Republicans out there were like the plantation owners, and then the Democrats were like all the plantation workers. But then now you're seeing a lot of Native Hawaiians that are like becoming Republicans when they were the plantation owners. So it's like this weird shift going on. Like the politician he's talking about, he's a Republican, but traditionally they've been Democrats, but then it hasn't been working.
changed, yeah.
So like there's like all this weird like stuff that's happening that doesn't happen here. Like the shift, and I guess
But they're like born and bred Democrats. Like it's cultural almost. That's what Tulsi was telling us.
yeah. No. But that's because of their guy, Senator Inoue.
Daniel,
Yeah. So he's like this Japanese American
Lost an
like
arm in war.
veteran that like
is that the airport?
Therefore, Daniel
Yeah.
Kano.
yeah. So like I think they have a loyalty to him, which made it.
okay.
And then when they were plantation peoples, I think they were like, this is where we got our voice. So now we're loyal to the party because we got our voice for workers' rights and stuff through the party. So yeah,
That's why I say I think Hawaii is just ran by the silent Asians. Just
You're
like-
right, though.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
all the old school Asians that like you're not gonna see them post on social media that who they're voting for.
Mm-hmm.
It's just but like they got the money, they control the power, and you just never hear about them.
yeah. And then white people get all the blame.
Yeah.
Hawaii needs the tourism for the economy to thrive.
We don't have another like I mean so tourism and I don't know what else.
Military.
Military, yeah, military. But we also don't like military.
That's like tourism too.
Yeah. They poison the waters. Yeah.
If you took that out, then the economy tanks.
Yeah, and then that's the issue when people are talking about sovereignty and being independent. It's like, oh, but if you didn't have the military, other people would invade you. If you didn't have, tourism, then your economy would suck. So I think there might be some truth to that. But we need to find like another thing, like agriculture. Why can't Pokemon cards? It's coming.
Pokemon cards.
if if these politicians put a PSA 10 shadowless Charizard, we could pay for some good stuff.
You ever heard of somebody
you.
that give a good example of like, because people say this all the time where they're like, stop tourism, military out, but then they don't have like a chapter 2 to that. Have you ever heard someone with a really good or even slightly convincing replacement where they're like,
I've had people on my podcast that they have like things lined up.
yeah, what have you heard that like actually sounds like kind of, oh, maybe that might be a good step? Because I've never heard one like follow up after.
I mean, I think that's most people when they complain. It's like, okay, so what are you gonna do?
like just stop oil,
Yeah, like, or yeah, it's like, oh, it's like, okay,
People are only viewing like one part of the coin too. Because if you think about like go back to sovereign nation, and then you're like, okay, we want Hawaii to be Hawaii. Then let's say if you guys took all the Walmarts and McDonald's out of Hawaii, I think there'll be an outrage too.
yeah.
But that also comes with being part of America is that there are these chains, but then they don't want too many chains, but then they also don't want to have too many local. It's just so hard to find this
go to
balance.
Costco.
But they have a Costco. Imagine you pull the Costco out, they'd be like, fuck.
Well, I mean, other countries, not America, have those chains too. Like if there's a capital incentive for those companies, they'll have those conveniences. I do think it's more the military and the regional like positioning of it that's like, I don't think America would ever be able to.
No, it's too strategic.
Yeah.
We took over Venezuela in the middle of the night, homie. Like, I don't think Hawaii would have a shot. All love.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is why it's like not even a conversation to that gets entertained. Like I don't even hear about like the conversation on the mainland. Like if there was like truly a chance, right, where Hawaii was like, hey, we want to be sovereign, then we'd be having this conversation all the time, be in our news. Never hear anything. It's not even a blip, because I think it's just
hella videos of like the illegal overthrow and stuff on YouTube that has millions of views. And then like a couple of years ago, a lot of just vloggers, like travel vloggers and just documentary guys, like made hella videos on it. And they're like, so I think it's a conversation that's not mainstream, but a lot of people understand and know about. I think the struggle would be losing the federal aid because of how many people depend on welfare
EBT, yeah.
just to survive.
Yeah.
And then so like pragmatically, I'm like, I think there might be a path for sovereignty in the sense of like legislation. Like, I mean, well, so what that means is governing, but not sovereignty. Like you might rent out land to the military, you outsource the military stuff, just like how Japan does with the US, like there's hella US bases in Japan and it's bigger than the Japanese military. You could probably like not like a full sovereign nation to the point where you have your own military and all that. That might be the halfway point where you're like, it's like when Hong Kong was under British rule, right? Like they were self-governing, they had their own stuff, and then like they had to go back to China, right? But like maybe there's some type of stuff like that. But I know like people be like, no, we want full sovereignty, like full control. But I feel like that might not be as realistic as like partial.
Even if let's say that there is a ideal world where Hawaii is sovereign and things are actually working to the benefit of the people there. Do you believe that can happen without multi-generational suffering to get there? Because it seems like if you just drop out, like you're going to have probably like 100 years of shit not going great before you get there, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of the Hawaiian mindset, or is like, I'm not planting this ulu tree, this breadfruit tree, so that I can enjoy the fruit. It's for the next generations, right? It's like, if you don't ever get to enjoy the shade of a tree, that's like true, just like doing it for others. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the mindset we have, is like, you want to be a good ancestor for the rest of the
okay.
If we got to put in all this work for them to enjoy the fruits of our labor, like I think people are fine with that.
Oh, okay. So the sovereignty movement is like centered on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like buying a box of Pokemon cards and keeping it in your closet, not open.
And then
You
exactly.
don't open them,
Yeah.
because it's for the next generation.
And then that's worth like $1 million. Yeah. But I think, there are movements that are happening now that aren't covered in the mainstream media. People are working every day. There's like the Hawaiian kingdom of the nation of Hawaii. I had them on the podcast, and they're doing it like trying to work with the military and like looking into AI and technology. So I think it's come to a point where like maybe we have to work together and like not just be like F you guys, like Hawaii only, and like that's the world we live in, right? Like
What's their name again?
Nation of Hawaii.
Can you tell them to give me one of those blue drinks?
Please don't tell them that.
No, we know the one with the whipped cream on the top. Thank you so much.
I think they're called Blue Lava.
Don't invite him. Invite him.
What? He's the perfect Howley.
He's just joking, guys.
He's just the perfect Howley example.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah. He was just saying how much he loves Lilo and Stitch before the podcast.
Okay, so then that whole initiative, Nation of Hawaii, they actually implement like all those different steps on how they're going to get there.
Yeah, and they have their own section that they have from the state, and then they have like people living there. They have their own governing system, their president, vice president, everything. Yeah, at one point I think one movement had like even their own currency.
Whoa, they got that far. Damn.
Hawaii coin.
Hawaii, yeah.
What was this called?
I don't know, something like that.
Stupid.
That would be dope if they had their own state crypto. Remember Florida did that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, these are things people don't really know. We know the very romanticized version of Hawaii. And unless you're connected with somebody, like why would you know?
So when like those things happen with, I was asking you before, you know, like with the rail, how like it was a big corruption scandal and all that money like from the taxpayers just went kind of like disappeared. Yeah. Is that money going to like people that are politicians that are not even in Hawaii, or like corporations that are not part of Hawaii?
I have no idea. Like it's been going on for so long. It's the most over budgeted thing ever, and they're still like they had. Before the rail was even running, they have pillars, and these pillars had like carvings, like nice, like what is like sculptures almost. I'm like, why do we need to do that first before actually getting this thing running?
Oh, so they were like decorating the pillar.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you know
like
how much those decorations
like sculpture.
were?
Yeah,
They're like $2 million each or something.
it's crazy.
And then
yeah.
I know the backstory behind that because the guy that was working on it met the person. Well, basically, all right, imagine you have a mold, like you have a design on a pillar, right? Wouldn't you make one mold and just stamp it? Yeah. They made custom for every fucking pillar.
Damn, dude. It's a great way.
And the artist got paid, bro.
And
they got paid.
Yeah.
Well, that's if there's any proof that Hawaii is part of America, that's it.
Yeah. No, but a hard thing with that too is
It's like the Hunter Biden paintings.
it's because there's a lot of like bones, like sacred lands with like remains, so they have to watch out like how they do. So there's a lot of layers to that too. Like they can't build on this part, and they have to be respectful. And I think it's getting better where people are more aware of the things going on in Hawaii. Like even Hawaiian Airlines has a video saying like, be a good tourist. Yeah. Don't touch the turtles. Yeah. So
before you land, they play like a whole PSA kind of thing.
Yeah.
They also hit you with it a bunch. Like I went to that, people snorkel.
Yeah. Hanama Bay.
Yeah, I went there, and they're hitting you with that the whole time. Like, don't touch anything. Yeah, tourist scum.
Did you still touch them?
No, dude, I can't. Well, the video's over.
I was wondering why they said we're speaking to you, Steve, specifically.
Yeah.
I thought